Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Biology Hai Easy, where learning is fun. And myself Sanhita Sarkar. Today we are going to discuss about a very interesting topic, nutrition in plants. It is chapter 1 of class 7 standard science textbook. In class 6, you must have read about what is ingredients, what is nutrients, what are different sources of foods, why nutrients are needed by our body, right? So, can any one of you mention 5 essential nutrients that are needed by our body? Okay, let's see what are the 5 essential nutrients. And they are carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, and minerals. These are 5 essential components of food, which is also known as nutrients. Why these are termed as essential components of food? Because if there is deficiency of any of these components, it leads to various deficiency diseases like lack of vitamin A leads to night blindness, lack of mineral like calcium leads to weaker bones, lack of proteins in our diet leads to stunted growth. So these 5 essential nutrients have to be present in balanced proportion in our diet to keep us healthy and fit. Now today we are going to discuss about nutrition in plant. So let's define or let's know what is nutrition. Nutrition is the mode of taking food by an organism and its utilization by our body. अब मेरे दिमाग में एक क्वेश्चन आ रहा है या आपके पास भी ये क्वेश्चन आ सकता है कि हमें फूड की जरूरत क्यों है? तो पहला आंसर आपका यही होगा कि हमें भूख लगती है इसलिए हम खाते हैं। पर भूख मिटती कैसे है या हम डेली बेसिस पे जो काम करते हैं उसकी एनर्जी हमें कहाँ से मिलती है? तो इसका आंसर होगा फूड। तो हम जो खाना खाते हैं वो खाना हमारा बॉडी यूटिलाइज करता है एनर्जी प्रोडक्शन में या अदर जो लाइफ प्रोसेसेस है उसको चलाने के लिए। तो आइए देखते हैं व्हाट आर द 2 मेन मोड ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन इन प्लांट्स, एंड दीज आर autotrophic mode of nutrition and heterotrophic mode of nutrition. As you can see in this picture that autotrophic mode of nutrition is mainly seen in plants and trees, whereas heterotrophic mode of nutrition is seen in animals, insects, amphibians and various marine creatures. Now let's talk about these 2 mode of nutrition in details. What is autotrophic mode of nutrition? As you can see, the word autotrophic came from 2 different words, where auto means self and trophos means nourishment. It is that mode of nutrition where an organism is capable of preparing or synthesizing its own food on its own. It doesn't have to depend on others for food. And autotrophic mode of nutrition is mainly exhibited by autotrophs like plants and trees, whereas the word heterotrophic is also divided into 2 words, where heteros means other and trophos means nourishment. In this mode of nutrition, an organism have to depend upon other organisms for their food as they are incapable of synthesizing their own food. And heterotrophic mode of nutrition is exhibited by heterotrophs like animals and even human beings. We are also heterotrophs because we depend on plants and trees for many kinds of food. Now, I have a question in mind. Can you tell me where the food factories of plants are located? Let's see how many of you can answer this question. Where is the factory of plants located? Food factory of plant is located. Okay, so the answer is leaves. Now we are going to study a very important process using which plants make their own food. And what it is? It is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process which helps plants to prepare their own food using various raw materials available in their surroundings, such as carbon dioxide, water, minerals from soil in presence of sunlight. We all know that the plants appears green because of the presence of a green pigment called chlorophyll in them, which is present in chloroplast. Now, chlorophyll can trap sunlight, and by using carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight, plant can prepare their food, which is glucose or starch, and they also evolve a gas, that is oxygen, which is required by other organisms for their respiration process. So in this way, plants are capable of preparing or synthesizing their own food on their own. And we organisms like heterotrophs have to depend on plants for food. A question that arises in my mind is how plants get these nutrients or these raw materials, it shouldn't be nutrients, these raw materials from their surrounding. So the answer is here. Plants get water and minerals from soil with the help of roots and carbon dioxide through small openings called stomata that is present on the surface of leaves. In this diagram, you can see that on the left hand side, the stoma, that is the small opening which is also called stomata, is open and it is actively participating in transpiration process as well as in gaseous exchange process, whereas in the right hand side the stoma is closed, so it isn't participating in transpiration or gaseous exchange process. So I think it is clear to you that how do plants obtain raw materials from the surrounding. Now let's talk about how these raw material reaches leaves, that is actually the food factory of a plant. And the answer lies here. We all know that water reaches our house through various pipelines. Similarly, plants have two types of plant vessels which acts just like the pipelines in our house. Xylem helps in transport of water and minerals from soil to roots first and then from roots to the leaves. And phloem helps in the transport of synthesized food, that is carbohydrate, from leaves to other parts of the plant. In this way, the raw material reaches leaves and then leaves prepares the food, that is carbohydrate, and then it distributes it to the other parts of the plant. Apart from carbohydrates, plants are capable of synthesizing proteins and vitamins. Now you might be thinking that we just read about the photosynthesis process where plants synthesize mainly carbohydrates, then how plants synthesize proteins and vitamins? The answer lies here that plants depend upon certain bacteria which helps them to absorb nitrogen that is present in usable form in the soil. So how it is done? We all know that, or you must know that, plants are unable to trap atmospheric nitrogen. So they have to depend upon certain bacteria that convert atmospheric nitrogen into usable form, and that nitrogen then gets absorbed by the plant along with water. In addition to that, fertilizers that is rich in nitrogen also fulfill the requirement of plants for nitrogen. Till now, we discussed about the two main mode of nutrition that is found in trees. Now we are going to discuss about 4 different modes of nutrition in plants. The first one is parasitic, second one is insectivorous, third one is saprotrophic, and the last one is symbiotic. We will discuss about each of them in a detailed manner one by one. So let's see what is parasitic mode of nutrition. In parasitic mode of nutrition, there is an interaction between host and parasite. If you see this picture, you will see a mesh-like yellow color structure and a green leafy tree. The mesh-like yellow structure is Cuscuta, which is also known as Amarbel in Hindi. It is a parasite. It is incapable of synthesizing its own food because it lacks chlorophyll, whereas the green leafy tree is capable of synthesizing food by the help of chlorophyll that is present in its green structure, and through the process of photosynthesis it can synthesize carbohydrates. Now this parasite feed on, or this parasite that is Cuscuta takes nutrition from this green leafy tree. So we can say that parasitic mode of nutrition is a type of heterotrophic mode of nutrition, because here the parasite cannot synthesize its own food and it has to depend upon other organisms which can prepare their own food. Let's see what is insectivorous mode of nutrition. आप सभी ने पिचर प्लांट के बारे में तो सुना ही होगा और यहाँ पे आपको पिक्चर भी दिखाई दे रहा होगा कि पिचर प्लांट कैसा दिखता है. सो पिचर प्लांट इज a type of insectivorous plant, and the pitcher and the lid is a modified leaf structure. The lid can open and close, and within the pitcher there are fine hairs. When an insect lands on this pitcher, the lid gets closed, and this pitcher plant releases some digestive juices which digest the insect totally, and in this way it obtains nutrients from the insect. Such insect-eating plants are called insectivorous plants. So, insectivorous mode of nutrition is also a type of heterotrophic nutrition. Now, let's move on to saprotrophic mode of nutrition. But before that, let's try to understand or let's try to identify both the pictures. In the first picture, we see bread molds, which is a type of fungi. And in the second picture, we see mushroom. Okay, so what is saprotrophic mode of nutrition? In this mode of nutrition, an organism is dependent on dead and decaying matter for food. And saprotrophic mode of nutrition is exhibited by whom? It is exhibited by saprotrophs like bread molds and mushroom. So it is also a type of heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Let's see our last mode of nutrition, that is symbiotic relationship or symbiosis. Symbiotic relationship is such relationship where both the organisms are depend on each other for food as well as shelter. And the best example of symbiosis is of lichen, which is a symbiotic relationship between a fungi and an algae. The fungus provides algae with shelter, water and minerals, whereas algae prepares food by the process of photosynthesis. You might be thinking, as plants take up nutrients from soil, so is there any decline in nutrients? Yes, you are right. And in order to replenish the nutrients in soil, we need to add fertilizers and manures that balances the amounts of nutrients in soil as they contain nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. So, farmers add manures and fertilizers time to time in order to replenish the nutrients in soil. Now you will be able to see a flow chart here, and this is our last slide. Let's try to read it. Crop plants absorb a lot of nitrogen. We already discussed about it. Soil become deficient in nitrogen. Okay, plants cannot use nitrogen in gaseous form. They need it in soluble form. Here, rhizobium plays an important role. It can take atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into a usable form for plants. And rhizobium cannot make its own food, so it lives in the root of leguminous plants like moong, gram, peas and beans. Rhizobium provides plants with nitrogen, and in this way they help each other. In addition to that, presence of rhizobium in soil leads to reduction in use of chemical fertilizers. I hope you enjoyed this session. If you like this video, then please hit the like button. If you are new to my channel, then do subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for latest updates. Till then, take care and keep learning in a fun and easy way with Biology Hai Easy.